For what purpose does the gentleman from Pennsylvania seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, request unanimous consent to address the House for 1 minute and revise and extend my remarks.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this week I introduced a bill to designate the Mahaffey Post Office in Mahaffey, Pennsylvania as the Robert Allen Bishop Sr. Post Office. Bob was a Marine Corps veteran, a letter carrier for the U.S. Postal Service, and an outstanding member of the community. Born in 1936, Bob graduated from Punxsutawney Area High School in 1954. At 22, he enlisted in the Marine Corps and completed an overseas tour in Japan and obtaining the rank of corporal. Following his military service, Bob returned to Pennsylvania and opened the Leitner and Bishop General Store with his wife, Jean. Today, the building that housed the general store is home to the Mahaffey Post Office. Bob was a letter carrier for 36 years and received the Million Mile Award, which recognizes workers who drive over 1 million miles. He also served with the Mahaffey Volunteer Fire Department as an EMT. Bob passed away on June 15th, 2023. Mr. Speaker, Bob dedicated his life to service, to his country and his community, and I look forward to renaming the Mahaffey Post Office in his honor. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman yields. For what purpose does the gentleman from California seek recognition? Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today in celebration of Thut, the Vietnamese Lunar New Year. Lunar New Year is so much more than a date on the calendar. It's an opportunity for the Asian American communities in California and across America to reflect on our past and to open our hearts to the promise of the future. I grew up as the child of Vietnamese refugees. My family gave up everything to rebuild their lives in America after fleeing communist oppression. They worked tirelessly to achieve the freedom and prosperity that the American dream offers us. I couldn't be prouder to honor my heritage from the floor of the House of Representatives. I want to extend my warmest wishes to everyone in our community for a joyful and prosperous Year of the Horse. Chúc mừng năm mới. Happy New Year. Thank you, and I yield back.
The gentleman yields. For what purpose does the gentleman from Washington seek recognition? Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize my outgoing communications director, Mr. Matt Reed. Matt's been on my staff for 2.5 years, and during that time has been a crucial member of my team. Matt has a tremendous work ethic, an infectious sense of humor, and is a friend to everyone in the office. From late hours in the DC office to road trips throughout Central Washington, Matt's been my megaphone across 3 Congresses, and we have enjoyed every minute of it. As Matt departs for the House, for I'm sorry to say the upper chamber, I'm confident he will succeed in his new role and that he will have a bright future ahead of him. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield back.
The gentleman yields. For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Pennsylvania seek recognition? Without objection, the gentlewoman is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On January 1st, Republicans in Congress allowed the Affordable Care Act credits to expire. Instead of celebrating a new year, millions of Americans confronted health care premiums skyrocketing overnight. Many had to make an impossible choice. Just look at my home state of Pennsylvania. 85,000 people who receive their health insurance through Penny, our health insurance marketplace, were forced to drop coverage. That's 1 in 5 Pennsylvanians, and it is not surprising who is bearing the brunt of this crisis. Older Pennsylvanians and rural communities, some of the most vulnerable among us. 85,000 people who can't access preventative screenings for cancer or visit a pediatrician when their child is sick. People who may or who will delay life-saving care because they simply cannot afford it. These tax credits save lives. That's why the House voted last month to extend them for 3 years. It was overwhelmingly supported. It was bipartisan. It is humane. So my message to my Senate colleagues is this: bring this bill to the floor today. We cannot waste another moment. Thank you. I yield back.
The gentlewoman yields. For what purpose does the gentleman from New York seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to address the House for 1 minute and to revise and extend my remarks.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to honor the life of my good friend and a dedicated public servant, Dennis Troy, who passed away at the age of 78 from a courageous battle with cancer. A proud Bronx native and Manhattan College alum, Dennis and his wife Bee lived in Pearl River for over 34 years, raising their 4 children and constantly giving back to their community. Dennis was one of those people who did not just serve his community, he lived for it. From his years on the Orangetown board and in the county legislature, to the countless nights and weekends he gave to youth sports, veterans, and local organizations, including his beloved AOH Division III. Dennis showed us what real public service looked like by always putting his community first. But beyond the titles and accomplishments, Dennis was simply a good man. He was generous with his time, steady in his values, and always supportive and encouraging, especially to those of us who were lucky enough to call him a friend. Orangetown and Pearl River are better places because of Dennis, and his legacy will never be forgotten. My heartfelt condolences go out to his family and all who had the pleasure of knowing him. Thank you for the many years of mentorship and friendship. Dennis, I will miss you. You are loved. I yield back.
The gentleman yields. For what purpose does the gentleman from North Carolina seek recognition? Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, Frank Scott, a ninth-generation farmer, was proudly honored as our state's Young Farmer of the Year. His family takes great pride in producing tobacco, sweet potatoes, cotton, soybeans, and sweet onions, together with his dedicated wife, Rebecca, and 2 children, Elijah and Lizzie. Frank tirelessly manages their family farm, exemplifying resilience and unwavering dedication. Recently, Frank shared with me the enormous weight on his shoulders of holding on to his family's farm and one day turning it over to his children, our next generation. I had the pleasure of speaking with his lively son, Elijah. He can hardly wait to assist his dad on the farm, and I'm prayerfully one day am able to call a 10th generation farmer. Congratulations, Frank, and to your entire family on this well-deserved recognition. Your story not only uplifts your family, but also is an inspiration for all people across America. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.
The gentleman yields. For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Michigan seek recognition? Without objection, the gentlewoman is recognized for 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today for a very important reason. You see, today is my mom's birthday, and I want to wish my mom a happy 80th birthday. Her name is Carolyn, but if you are in the 9th District, you probably know her as Granny. So let me tell you a little bit about Granny. She's tougher than any whip count, and she's more disciplined than running the House floor. And I'll tell you that's saying something up here. But let me tell you what you really need to know about my mom. She is the life of every party at 80 years young, and she lives every day to its fullest. She taught me how to work hard, to listen more than I should speak. She taught me to never, ever back down and to believe in myself. And she is the very reason that today I am standing where I'm standing. She's the heart of our family, a role model for our grandkids, and the woman who reminds me every single day of why I came up here to fight for the people of my district, the 9th District. So, Mom, happy birthday. I love you. More than words can say, and I can't wait to get home and celebrate with you.
For what purpose does the gentleman from California seek recognition?